Hey, oopsies and daisies. Randomly just decided to have that as y'all's names. Welcome to the No Rules Unfiltered Thoughts podcast. Moving forward, I'll be your only host. And yeah, I think a brief introduction will be best suited, especially maybe for you to also understand like how things will be like when I talk, like you can understand what phase I am in life, so that as I share my journey you can also be able to understand. So yeah, especially because this episode today is like very to my heart. It's just like something that I would like to share, so that I'll look back and be like, oh, I actually came out of that hole that I didn't think I was gonna come out of. But yeah. So my name is Tara. I am a master's graduate now. Graduated with a master's of science in civil engineering, and I love the engineering field, mostly the transportation side of it, the highways, the railways, the roads, like you name it. Like that's my passion, I guess. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but like I'm sure as I continue shooting more episodes, I'm gonna be more opened up, like more free, and like sharing more about my journey. So yeah, today's topic is mostly about like the graduation shift, like after you graduated and like what's next. You don't know what to do, mainly because I'm in that phase of my life. And the thing about me, it's like I'm more of a self-isolation kind of person. So I'll not talk to my friends, I'll not talk to my family, I'll not talk to anyone close to me. It's just like I just want to be alone. But like that's the thing, like you don't have to be alone, but like I'm also coming to terms with it, so I'm not in the best place to even tell you what to do. So it's just like that's just how I cope. That's my coping mechanism, which I'm working on, considering the fact that the people around me feel, some get hurt because they maybe don't understand exactly how I do deal with things. So I mean that's why we're here, I guess. And it contradicts itself, because like why would I isolate myself, yet I'm here sitting and talking about it on a whole podcast platform. But anyway, so let's just get into it, because like I recently graduated, to be specific, last month. It's how can I say it, there's really nothing much to it, because like I didn't get a graduation ceremony, to be very honest, especially because our university doesn't do it for master students. So I mean, I just feel like I defended my project, my thesis, and then that was it. Like there was no, of course I got like the scholarship graduation ceremony, but like it doesn't feel the same, because like the uni you've been going to for the past 3 years, like well, you're done, bye, I guess. Wait for your diploma or like something like this. But like here's the thing, graduation is like a finish line kind of thing. But then again, when you finish uni, it's just like, especially if you're used to a certain type of routine, I'm speaking this from my perspective, given the fact that I had like this going to uni, working, like that was my full-time kind of schedule, and like everything just poof, it ended. It's just like I'm gonna talk about what happened with work, but like right now let's talk about school. So you're used to this particular schedule, like okay, you know, like you're going to uni at this particular time, this particular couple of days, you're going to be working this other particular kind of hours or days, and then yeah, you're kind of used to some sort of routine, yeah. But then after graduation, it's like the schedule, the routine, it like disappears overnight. Like, let me be honest with you, the amount of sleeping I've slept in the last couple of weeks is insane. Like, I have slept, woken up, slept, woken up. Like, even the waking up, it's not even waking up, it's just waking up, eating, back to sleep. Why? I have no school, I have no work. It's just, that's just my routine, and it's just like it becomes very redundant, and it's like, what am I doing? Am I in the right phase? Like, am I in the right path? Like, what am I doing? It's just like a whole sense of like confusion. So it just leaves you in some sort of limbo kind of thing. So it's just like, well, I guess. And then yeah, that's more about the identity part of it. So the second segment is more on like, okay, now I'm done with my master's degree. Like, am I gonna be pursuing a PhD, or am I gonna be working now? But then again, it's just like, if you think about it, like, let me be completely honest here. Applying for these programs, especially if your mind is hell-bent set on like you want to do it abroad, it's never easy. Especially when I look back and I think about how, like, when I was applying for my master's degree program, and like I knew I didn't want to do it back home. I think I've said it this before, but like also there's the challenge of like applying to these different universities, not knowing like what response you're gonna be getting. Most are usually rejection emails. So there's also that, like, having to regulate yourself to deal with the rejections is like it's actually a lot. Like, no one, I believe like not enough people talk about it. So it's that aside, now thinking about like applications, like PhD applications now at this point, because that's the point I am in. And it's just like with PhD applications, you have to, one, have a research topic, two, reach out to a tutor or like a professor who's going to like take you through your research project, mostly in the uni you're applying to. Once you've done that, they've accepted, of which not all of them even respond to that. So it's just like you're left not knowing, like, just tell me no if it's a no, you know. Some of them don't even respond, like some of the professors don't even respond. Aside from that, you also have to apply to the uni, then get admitted to the uni, then now you can apply for scholarships. Like, it's a whole process that not enough people talk about. So it's just like, when you think about it, yes, I do want to do my PhD eventually, but then again, the whole process of like the application and all this, it's a lot. It's genuinely a lot. And it's just like, I do want to take some time to rest, but then again, the clock is ticking if you think about it, because it's just like, one, you've graduated, so your residence permit in the country you're staying in highly likely is about to expire. So for you to even continue staying, you have to have a valid reason. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, I want to apply for my PhD, but like, if I want to apply for my PhD, the sooner I do it, better. Aside from that, I've also mentioned the workforce. Okay, fine, I want to do work, but like, if you really get to the nitty-gritties of it, is like most people, hiring managers, might not, they hesitate, let me just say that, like, they hesitate to hire a foreigner due to the whole process of like having a foreigner, especially like, okay, why are we not hiring our people? We have to get a foreigner to do this particular kind of job, kind of thing. So I mean, it's just something that's just there, and it's very, like, you can't really overlook it. So there's just that, like, okay, I'm applying for jobs, okay, I'm doing my PhD application at the same time. But you see, like, all this consumes your mind so much to the point that you don't realize, considering the fact that it's all work. Like, it's all, you have to put in the effort, you have to put your best, like, you have to, it's like you're pitching yourself to people, like you're pitching yourself to the workforce, you're pitching yourself to the PhD applications. So it's just like you want to put your best foot forward at the end of the day. So, well, I can even feel myself shaking from like talking about it, because it's like part of the things that I've been doing, like in as much as I'm saying like, oh, let's sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up, I still have to do something. Like I have to, like at the back of my head is that pressure of like, oh, I've not made an application today. It's like apply. Like there's so much pressure, and it's worse when you know there's no one coming to pick you up, so you kind of have to pick yourself up. And that's another thing that people maybe do not understand enough, that some of us, like, we're standing on our own 2 feet. So it's just a whole, you have to pull yourself up. If you don't, then who's gonna come do it for you? And it's just like, it's a whole thing. And that's like the reality checks that you come to deal with as you transition through all this. And it's just, it's a lot. Yeah. So part of the transitions, as I have said, is like the visa, the residency, and all this. The transition is like insane. You don't know if you're gonna be accepted, if you're gonna be rejected, and what reason are you even applying for a new visa, like to renew your visa or like to renew your residency. Like, it's just a lot. And like, as much as I see like the self-isolation, it's like sometimes you need the support, but then again, if you think about like it, and then you're like, oh, I just don't want to trouble them though. So it's just like, what to do. It's just, it's a lot. Like the emotional part of it is like draining, because it's just like you're dealing with your own stuff. You don't want to impose on the people around you. Yes, the people who would love you to death, but then again, like, especially if you're the kind of person like me, there's a lot that goes through the whole, you're battling between like explaining to the people around you like what you're going through, and also like not having to explain so that they don't have to stress, so that they don't like feel sorry for you. So it's just like what to do. Also on the emotional part, I'd also say like the guilt of resting. So the resting, like the sleeping and like relaxing, I'm just like, because I've caught up with so many shows. Like I've caught up with the World Cup since I was done. I've caught up with Love Island, both US and UK. I've caught up on like The Boys. Like I've caught up on so many shows that I hadn't watched it, because I was like, especially during the last semester, like the whole like finishing up my thesis was like very, very intense. So it's just like, the guilt of just sitting down and doing nothing. Oh my God, it's just like, it's a lot. And it's like, someone might say like, okay, take the rest, like you deserve it. But then again, it's just like you're thinking about the future. And like that's the thing, like when I was finishing, like around that period when I was finishing my thesis and all, I was just thinking about like, okay, now like I have to start thinking about what's the next step, blah blah blah. But then again, I was like, because I'm a very conflicted human being, because like I forget most of the times to live in the present, because like in the present I'll either be thinking about the future or like what's past, like, oh my God, I was able to do this and that, but I'll not be thinking about like the current successes that I'm living in, because I'm also thinking about the future, like, oh shit, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, is there something I need to be applying? Is there like a job I need to be looking for? Is there a new skill that I need to be doing? Because like I'm just like always in a rush to do this, that and that, to the point that when I get this transition period, it's just an awkward time for me, if I may say, because it's just like you're trying to give like a balance of life, of which like the balance is always just off. So what to do? But like, So yeah, I had like a few questions. Let me see if I can answer a few of them. So one of them is like, did graduation feel like freedom or pressure? So here's the thing. When I submitted my thesis, like when I did the whole defense, and then I submitted the paperwork, submitted the copies of my thesis and all these things, God knows how happy I was. And I remember this particular day, it's like Shaggy was performing. He had come to Istanbul, and let me tell you, I went and sang my heart out. Like I went and enjoyed, like the freedom that came with it was like unmatched. But then again, when you sleep and wake up, and like just the realization that this particular phase of your life is done, brother, the pressure that comes with it, you have no idea. Like I don't know if this pressure is just me putting pressure on myself, especially considering like you talk to people at home and then they'll be like, oh, there are no opportunities here, you need to look for things out there. And it's just like, oh yeah, I get it, but like out here I'm just alone. Like how much can I do? There's only so much I can do. So like yes, there's a lot of pressure. What's the next step? What am I supposed to do? Like there's no right path, so it's just like you have to kind of figure that out. And like let's hang it there, I guess. The next question is, when did you realize being a student had become part of your identity? Damn. I feel like I've always been a student. Like I enjoy learning, I enjoy being educated, I love being educated. In fact, like I always love being a student, and like it's always been like my identity. When did I realize it? Especially when I started like my first year of coursework with my master's program. I was like, oh holy god, like especially like the whole transition between like I'm from Kenya, so like the Kenyan education system to the Turkish education system, like that transition is like wow. Yeah, so I think that's like my first year like of my master's program is when I realized like being a student is just part of my identity. Number 3 is, have you questioned whether to continue studying or start working? I've had this conflict within myself a couple of times, mostly because I'm always the kind of person who says like, oh, if I'm gonna do my PhD, I'd rather do it once and then get into the workforce. I know people have their own ideas, they have their own thoughts about it, but like for me, I've always said to the people around me, like even to myself, like I would rather be done with my PhD first. I don't want to be in the workforce and then be like, oh shit, I should have just done my PhD. And then like the whole balancing, because I've worked and I've also done my master's, so I know how much commitment both of them require. So I would rather do my PhD with a part-time job and then like get into the workforce. So that's always has been my ideology. But if you have like work for me, I mean hit me up, I guess. 4 is like, what's been the hardest part of job hunting abroad? I thought this was the hardest part, but like I had a conversation with someone and like kind of changed my perspective around it. My thought process was like, I don't even have the job experience for me to be working abroad. But then again, they were like, but you've done a couple of things, like you've not just been studying, you've done a couple of things. Because like I've taken courses, like I've been a tutor for like a couple of courses, especially engineering courses, so that also counts as experience. I've done my internship, I've done all this, But then again, in my head, I don't know why it doesn't count as a job experience, because it's like when they're asking for job experience, they're like 5 years minimum, or 5-7 years of experience, blah blah blah. So that really gets to my head. I mean, I wouldn't say it's just about being abroad, even being at home, I guess. But then, because the thing is, I learned the language, like I know the Turkish language. So would I say that's part of the problem? I don't think so. I think it's just the fact that I'm a foreigner, and like the hesitation that comes from the hiring managers, especially when they see that you're a foreigner. So they have to think about the whole process of like hiring you. It's not just like hiring a typical resident, like the Turkish resident. So it's just like the hesitation that comes from the hiring managers is what like has been the hardest part of it. Yeah. 5. What's something you wish universities prepared international students for before graduation? I feel like, especially from my uni, they would have like what I would recommend for them is to have more conferences, and by this I mean like holding, because with these conferences is where students especially, get to interact with potential bosses, like the potential people who are going to be hiring them in the future. So I'm just thinking like if our uni would have more of that, it would have been a good thing, because I have gone to conferences in other unis who have like such conferences and such activities, and like it's been nice like having to interact with people who are like already in the work field, and they will like advise you to do this, do that. If you wanna like work with them, you can like include particular skills, and it's just like it helps you even realize like, okay, if like these are the people who are gonna be hiring me in the potential future, then, and this is what they're recommending, then why not just like explore and see like these particular skills they're telling me about, or like these applications they're showing, because like it helps like you understand what's in the working environment. The last question is, how do you handle uncertainty without feeling like you're falling behind? Well, I do not have an answer to this, because I'm constantly feeling like I'm falling behind, and especially when you enter like apps like LinkedIn, and then you see like your friends are like succeeding, doing all these good things. Of course, I'm very proud of you, and like I'm happy for you all, but like for myself it's just like too much pressure, because it's like, am I doing enough? Like, what am I falling behind on? Like, is there something I need to do? But like, and it's not just like LinkedIn, it's like even when you enter social media and you see like people doing this and that and all these things, and it's just like there's a gap that's missing and you just like and it gets you like really low, like if you're already feeling bad and then you get into these apps and then you see, and then you're like, yeah, maybe there's something I'm missing, maybe there's just like that uncertainty that comes with it. But then yeah, I don't have an answer for this one, unfortunately, but like with that being said, I think that's all I have for this week's episode. It's not very, how do I say, it's not like a very happy episode. It's just like me trying to share genuinely and authentically about how I feel currently at the place I am in my life, and I hope that whoever might be the same, we might hold each other's hands, I guess. But like, yeah, if you are a class of 2026, congratulations to you, because you've done an amazing job. And yeah, let's see what the next phase of life has to offer to us. But congratulations, you've done well, and we got this. I mean, see you next time.